What's up everyone? This is A from ATech Reviews here, and today we will be talking about a lot of dongles and portable DAC / amplifiers. I will tell you which ones I have used here and why, and I will tell you which ones are my top options for different criteria. For example, I will tell you which one is the most portable, the top choice for me at least, which one has more power, which one is the most clinical or analytical, has the most detail, and which one has the best value. And I'll tell you which one is my choice in the end. So let's get started, as we have a lot to talk about. First of all, let me start here with the Tanchjim Space Lite, as they call it. Now, the Space Lite here has a single Cirrus Logic 4T3131 DAC chip, and it has a non-removable USB-C cable. Now, it is gold-plated, as you can see, and it's made of metal. It's only single-ended. It costs like $45, I think, and it's kind of light, and obviously it makes it a great portable choice. I know, like, some people say it's a disadvantage that the cable is not removable, but honestly I like it that way, because if you ask me here which one of these choices is the one that is most portable, the one that you can put in your pocket and forget about it, it's this one. The cable is non-detachable, but it's still very high quality. It has this transparent film around it that kind of like prevents it from bending. Now, it has a sound that I would say is kind of neutral. It doesn't have any emphasis on any frequency or low end or high end or something like that. Highs are okay, are good, well extended. Power is actually more than sufficient for IAMs, and I have zero complaints about it. Obviously, it doesn't have any volume rocker buttons, so you have to adjust it from your phone. As I said, like for day-to-day use, for something quick, something portable in your pocket, I don't think this one could be beat, especially like if you don't want to lose the USB-C cable. This comes and saves the day. It's flexible, it doesn't get lost or anything like that. I have used this a lot, and it's still quality and maintains its shape and performance. So this one is my top choice for portable use, and it's not high-end or anything like that, but still very good sound, and honestly fulfills what you need for single-ended day-to-day use. It's this one. They have another model that has two chips. It offers balanced output, and it's called the Space. It still comes at a good price, but I don't think it's as portable as this one. Now, moving on to the item number 2 here, which in my opinion is the item that offers the most value out of all the items here, which is the Fosi Audio DS2. Now, there is a model I saw online which has ESS chip. This one here has the Cirrus Logic chip that comes like the Space Lite, but the difference here is that you get 2 chips instead of 1. You get a removable cable. You get volume rocker buttons for increasing and decreasing the volume, obviously. And you get a light here that shows you the sample rate which you're using for PCM, and it shows you the DSD also if you're playing that. Now, this one here is actually unbelievable. You just pay $10 more, and you get balanced output, you get another extra DAC chip, and you get a removable cable and the buttons. Obviously, this is one of my recommendations. I think the price can't be beat, and the offer and the value here cannot be beat anyway. The distortion is very low. Total harmonic distortion plus noise is 0.002%, 0.002%, which is way low than any of us could hear. The cable here, I wouldn't say it's the best kind. It's way too flexible, as you can see. It cannot hold itself, but no complaints. I've used it and no complaints at all. It is very sturdy. It's made out of metal, and it's light at the same time. If I could guess, probably aluminum, and the volume buttons are excellent. Honestly, this device is great, like really great for the value it offers and the price it offers. Power specs, honestly I felt it offers good power from both the single-ended and the balanced 4.4. The brand says in the manual that came with the device that it offers like 550, almost 550 milliwatts at 32 ohms from the balanced 4.4 output out. So I don't think this is like per channel. I'm not sure. I think maybe this combined, but still that's a lot. That's 250 milliwatts or even 270, which is insane if you think about it. Again, a marvel. Like this is like, I think 55. Awesome. Sound wise here, it sounds, I honestly think that the Tanchjim Space Lite here sounds better. That's my personal opinion. It has slightly more detail, and I think I don't know, maybe the power aspect makes the low end come more powerfully, or at least it sounds more engaging. I wouldn't call this analytical or anything like that, but it seems kind of like flat, plain, not dry or anything. It's just okay, like average level of detail retrieval, no focus on anything. It just sounds flat, and it can get loud. Not as engaging, not as musical, but still very good. No complaints at all. At the price here, just the balanced output is awesome. Now comes a third device here that uses the same chip, and it actually comes at a very different pricing, which is strange now. Like this is a new device, I think. This one here is called the Muse M3 II. Now, the level of difference in pricing here is huge, and I'm just trying to show you what it offers here. I got this a long time ago, and it uses the same dual Cirrus Logic 43131 DAC chips as the Fosi Audio DS2. It offers actually true and fully balanced output from the 4.4, and it has the 3.5 single-ended output. Obviously, the build quality here is much better than the Fosi, and the weight difference, like this feels like it's 4 or 5 times the weight of this one. Other than that, you have your volume buttons, which are offered also by the Fosi. See how crazy this is? And you have actually high gain and low gain, and another thing actually here that it offers that the Fosi doesn't offer, when you use, and actually this feature here is not available on any of the dongles provided here. When you use the volume button, the up and down, it actually controls the volume on your phone, not its own volume. Yes, it does that, but you can see the volume bar on your phone going up and down. So that is a feature. Another thing is if you press here the up volume button and hold it for a second and let go, it will play or pause the track you're using. At the same time, if you click here and hold it for 1 second and then remove it, this light will turn to red and you will enter into high gain mode. Allegedly, there is a gaming mode which kind of adds like space kind of thing. They say it adds like space so that you can hear like bullet sounds in the game and stuff like that. I'm guessing it's like a crossfeed kind of thing. I'm not sure, and I forgot how to turn it on, honestly. It turned on by accident, and usually I'm not a crossfeed guy. I just like to listen to the way the music is sounding, the way it is on my phone or my PC. Now this one here comes with actually a cable, a USB-C to C cable. It comes with a Lightning to USB-C cable, and it has this adapter from Type-C, female Type-C to male Type-A. Now the Fosi also includes that. I forgot to include it here. It also includes that, so keep that in mind. But other than that, this is it. In terms of power, it has enough power, okay power. I'm not saying that it's lacking or anything like that. In terms of sound, it differs a lot from the Fosi and from the Tanchjim Space Lite. The sound here is more warm. It's more fun. It is detailed, but it feels like almost similar to a detailed, I don't want to say that, but it's a detailed tube sound, or more, maybe a detailed Class A, something like that. It doesn't get hot, but the sound here is not like these two. These two are more like the Tanchjim here. The Space has, I think, more detail. It's more resolving. The Fosi is flat, and here you get a more engaging sound that it doesn't have more bass or anything, just the sounds are more enjoyable. The harshness of the highs are gone. The highs are more smooth. You kind of feel like that. It feels way more engaging, to be honest, and it's way different. Like, that's how I describe it. Not necessarily better, it is different. If any of you guys know the Muse op amps, this is what I remember when I listened to this. If you guys saw my review when I reviewed the Rose Technics RT5000 DAC and amplifier, it has similar sound here. It is very similar. It is like warm sounding, smooth, detailed at the same time, but no harshness, and it's kind of like this fun sound signature. Do I recommend it? Honestly, because we have the AFUL SnowyNight here that has 2 higher end DAC chips and actually better sound, and I will talk about it again in a second, but because of that reason here, I only recommend this if you want to try a different sound, or maybe you like the build quality on this one. So this is the Muse M3 II DAC amp. Moving on, now we finished the Cirrus Logic 43131 DAC chips. Now we can move on to number 2, which is the higher end DAC chips, which is the 43198. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities between those DAC chips, but of course there are some differences in the amplifier section of the 43198. Also, like their amplifier included in the original, like Class H and so on. And you hear the 198 allows manufacturers to kind of like design their own amplifier and like adjust the feedback and ultimately, of course, adjusting the sound. So here we have 2 like DAC amps, 2 dongles that use this DAC chip. Both of them here use 2 of the 43198, which is the flagship from Cirrus Logic for portable DAC amps. Both of them offer very high amounts of power, and I think I reviewed them and I compared between them. Now I'm including it here because before the SnowyNight came, I would pick this as the top option, the Moonriver 2 Ti from Moondrop. I would say it is the highest DAC chip here, it is the best, it has the most power, it's the most resolving, and so on. Honestly, after getting the SnowyNight and using it, not only do I think the Snowy Power is actually lower priced while offering almost everything and more, I actually think the SnowyNight gets the edge here. It's better. It offers a few things that makes me prefer it over this one. Let me start by telling you what they are. Obviously here the cable, I mentioned before, the cable of the SnowyNight is a much higher quality. I say that not because I think it's thick and it has gold plated on both sides and that means it's better, but because AFUL engineered this to actually sound better, and in their comparison and in their testing, they even say it's better than coaxial. Like, it reached that level. As a USB transmission device, it reached better than coaxial. Obviously, the thickness is an indicator. Thicker conductors carry faster and better electricity. If there is shielding here in this thickness, it will be prevented and prevent any interferences and so on. So here you can see the cable. I honestly prefer the AFUL one. I think it is more sturdy, and there is a lot of more engineering design that went into it. But if we talk about the DAC amps, the dongles themselves, aesthetics are subjective. I will leave that to you here. You can decide which one would you like to see. Obviously, the transparent look here is kind of nice, but at the same time, more than half of it is covered, which is not kind of nice in my opinion. I would like to see the DAC amp, if I like it, if it's transparent. Moving on to the other side, the Moonriver 2 Ti is obviously made out of titanium. While obviously this seems on the first go, it seems like an excellent choice, right? But what people don't know is, or what people forget like me, is that titanium can get easily scratched. That is a problem. Yes, it is hard, but it can easily get scratched. And at the same time, another thing here is that it is a thumb or fingerprint magnet. Something that the AFUL excels at. It has this matte finish. It looks black. Yes, it doesn't have that look, but it's lighter in weight. You can carry it more easily, and you can put your finger here all day long. It will not have any fingerprints. Another thing here I like is the AFUL here has these volume rocker buttons that are more stable, more sturdy, and more clicky. I like that a lot, and I think it has more range of volume. It can go like slowly up and down. Here, I think if you just press here, it just gets up so high, so fast. Especially with IMs, this is a lot. Another thing here is I like the design of like the snow leaf here, which they included. It turns into different lights based on what sample rate you're using and whether you're using DSD. Another thing I want to mention here, there's a Moondrop here has an app which connects to this dongle. But again, the only thing you're allowed to change from the app is the filters and the gain. Here, the AFUL, I prefer. I don't want to be tied to using an app when I'm changing something like the gain specifically. And like the Moondrop app even is not on the Play Store, and I spent a lot of time to find it. The AFUL one here, it will allow you just with press here for 2 seconds. You press on the up and the plus and minus of the volume, and boom, you're in high gain again, and you're in low gain. And actually it's structured very well that you don't feel the volume is very high. For changing filters, I forget how to do that. They include it and they tell you how much the light goes on to indicate the filter and so on. To be completely honest, I just change it one time to fast. That's it. Fast linear, and that's it. So this is my comparison between them. Sound-wise, I think they sound almost exactly the same, to be honest. Almost exactly the same, with the exception that the SnowyNight here maybe has a 5%, or maybe like say 7, maximum 10. I don't think that like that much. It has more low end. It has more warmth. It's not warmth. The warmth is not the good amount. The good word actually. I feel it enhances the bass. That's what I feel. It is still as resolving as the Moonriver 2 Ti. It's still as detailed. Just the way now that I listen to it more, the way this Moonriver 2 Ti sounds doesn't have that punch in the bass that the SnowyNight has, so it makes it feel more clinical sounding slightly. That's how I would describe it. Maybe these differences are due to the cable, because AFUL like are very proud of their cable, and for a good reason. Maybe it's engineered in that way. Maybe there's an impedance kind of thing. I'm not sure, but what I tell you is, based on the price, this is $109 compared to this. Honestly, it's a no-brainer for myself. I love this, but this wins here in my opinion. And this is the SnowyNight remains my top choice for day-to-day use, for IMs and for headphones even. This is another advantage. It has single-ended and balanced, and on the balance at 32 ohms, it has 300 milliwatts. Just think about that. Obviously, another thing here I want to mention is that due to the Cirrus Logic DAC chip, it is very efficient, because we're moving on to ESS here. It's very efficient, which makes you able to use it with your phone for a long time. It never even gets hot. I don't understand how or why. Like, seriously, I don't know how to explain that. You can use a lot of power. You can use the 300 milliwatt. It will never even, just slightly warm. That's how warm it gets. So the AFUL SnowyNight is my choice for day-to-day use, for something that I want that is resolving, something that I want to do a comparison, something that has single-ended and balanced, something that is high-end, like something that is the best sound I will use. I will do a comparison, something to use with a laptop or a desktop. It cannot be beat. At this price, it is the winner here for me. Does it sound better than the Muse and the Fosi and the Tanchjim? Yes, in my opinion, yes. It sounds much better. That's how I say it. Is it as portable as the Space Lite? No. That's why I said this is the most portable option. This is still very portable, actually. Just the way I use it is to put it with any IEM case. Moving on, we spent here some time. Now let me move on to something that's maybe a little bit older, but I want to touch on it for a few seconds here, which is the THX Onyx here. Obviously, it costs a lot more. And let me tell you that I got this when it was much older than these. So it was still before that dongles. And still to this day, if you ask me, what is the most resolving dongle? What is the dongle that has the best detail retrieval? The one that is like literally a wire with gain. It's the THX Onyx. I know it's expensive. I know it's only single-ended, non-detachable cable. I know that, but still, honestly, it is the best clean sound I have out of all of these. The AFUL comes close, but it's not like this sound. THX is usually known, I know people say it's clinical, it's analytical, like the 789, and I kind of agree, but that's not a bad thing in my opinion. I think it depends on what you're using with it, and the track, and the headphone or earphone. And in my opinion, this is not like that. It's still a lot clearer. The feed-forward mechanism of THX is still something that cannot be beat by any brand, in my opinion. It is so clean. The bass here sounds so clean, so snappy. The transients are so fast and clear. The mid-range, obviously the vocals shine here. I know people maybe think like, oh, this is too detailed, this is blah, blah, blah. Again, when I use like good IMs that don't have harshness, don't accentuate pinna gains and stuff like that, like you get what you listen to, guys. You get what you hear. If your music sounds bad, you hear it. If your music sounds good, you enjoy it. So I don't think here it should take any blame. Obviously, the price is expensive. It doesn't have volume rocker buttons. The cable is non-removable. And it has this magnet, and it's only single-ended. Another thing I will tell you about it, honestly, is that it uses a lot more battery than something like the AFUL SnowyNight. So, as I said, this is an option that I got a long time ago, and I still use because I like it. I love the way it sounds. I love the cleanliness. I love how clear it is. I listen to a lot of desktop amps and portable dongles, and again, I haven't heard anything that offers the cleanliness this is. Is it as portable as the others? No. It uses a lot more power, which drains your phone battery. But again, if you have this, or if you have a chance to listen to it, I would actually recommend it. Now I will talk about something I wouldn't actually recommend it that much, but it is great, and I still like it and still love it. It's the E1DA 9038D 6K. I have the balanced and the single-ended models of this. There's a lot of upgrades from the brand, like they have like the G and G3 and G3S, and again, this I like it, but I wouldn't recommend it for a few reasons. In terms of sound, it even comes way close to the THX here. Dare I say, sometimes I feel it beats it. I'm not exactly sure. It is so clean, and this one is analytical. This one, I don't want to say it's sharp, but it shows you everything in recording so that sometimes you feel it is way sharp. This one is analytical precision. This is like surgery stuff. It's like very precise. It's like a razor. Everything is rendered with excellent precision. But again, why wouldn't I recommend it? For a few reasons, obviously. Number one, I will tell you, first of all, it comes only in single-ended or only balanced output. So for the price you're paying here, if you look at something like the AFUL SnowyNight, which comes at a similar size, and it has both, you can begin to see why I wouldn't recommend it. Number two, there is no volume rocker buttons on it anywhere, like left or right. Like you don't know how to adjust the volume from it. You have to use your phone. So you depend on your phone, other than, if you notice here, when I use this from the SnowyNight, I can easily adjust the volume. I can easily adjust the gain. Here it doesn't have any gain. There's only one mode, which you get. Another thing here I want to talk about. The USB-C here is not as sturdy or as stable as all these dongles, for example. Like take the cheap Fosi Audio here. If I put this here and I insert it, you can hear a click, and it's very sturdy, and you can see it almost sits flush, almost. But if I insert this here, yes, there's a click, but it's kind of wobbly at times. I know that because it disconnects from the phone, so I feel I cannot walk with it as comfortably as I want to. Another thing here is it has this interference thing where it kind of like if your phone has 4G or 5G, it kind of like makes some noise here, and it doesn't work that well. I hear from other people with iPhones, but again, it's a good device. It has a lot of power, but honestly, it disconnects a lot from my phone. Other than that, also let me mention is it doesn't work all the time for me personally. I have this, and I'm saying this from this model and other models. Like I have to use a specific app to open it, like USB Audio Player Pro or something like that, for it to be recognized and working. That's how my experience with it, to be honest. It's a great device. It's small. It can fit in your pocket. But I think like only single-ended or only balanced, that is something that makes you wonder. It's great for desktop use. And let's not forget here two things, that the DAC chip here is a desktop grade DAC chip in this size. And another thing is the amount of power it offers. It offers a lot of power, even for single-ended. It's actually a lot of power. The balanced model, again, one of the reasons I don't like it is it has 2.5. Like I think that jack died a long time ago. So this is what my opinion about it. Still a great device when used under certain conditions. And obviously the engineer who designed this is very capable, but I would like to see some volume buttons. I would like to see like gain modes. I would like to see 4.4 and 3.5, because the competition here, the AFUL SnowyNight, has that and more. And it uses even less battery. It's way more efficient. So I would also like to see a sturdier cable. There is an app here that you can use, but you have to buy it. That's another thing, like see. And you have to, like, the app allows you to change filters, and it allows you like to adjust the volume, and it allows you like to do some total harmonic distortion compensation in the ESS DAC chip, like a lot of stuff. But anyway, these are the things that it has. Now, the same brand here has something I will touch on very quickly, which is this PowerDAC 2.1. What this is this is a Class A device that is what they call a digital amplifier. Like it doesn't have like the regular, like I think DAC chip, and it's like a fully digital headphone PowerDAC. So it has like this PWM pulse width modulator chip, and it has like DSP here. It comes with a free app called HP Toy, which you can use, and it allows you to adjust some EQ. But again, like it's a fun thing to try for a few seconds and then gone. The problems here, to only 2.5. Yes, you can use 3.5, but you have to get a certain adapter from the brand only. It gets way too hot, like way too hot. Like you touch it and you feel, wow, too hot, you know. Another thing is the sound is not as detailed as any other here. Some people like that, but again, it reminds me of the Muse, but the Muse has a lot of detail. So it doesn't have that. There is EQ, but again, everything is like not the best sounding in my opinion. Like if you watch something, like especially the treble and the transients are gone. So this is, I just wanted to touch on you and tell you my experience when using it. It's actually desktop only. I want to mention you cannot even control the volume from it. You have to use your phone or the app. Again, like it makes it not that practical in my opinion, and it has this type B USB thing, so it's only desktop use usually. If you use it with your phone, some Android phones will not work with it, and it will drain your battery fast. So again, I like to see these gadgets, and I got it because of that, and I enjoy it occasionally. Now here comes the device, which for me is the one-all be-all device that replaced most of the time, except the SnowyNight and the Space, which is the FiiO BTR7. Yes, it's not a dongle, but in a way it is, because you could connect it through USB-C, and you can work with it wired. So you can use that with your desktop or your phone. The benefits here are, of course, is that it has its own battery. It has THX technology, AAA, feed-forward mechanism for the amplifier. It supports MQA if you need that. And yet, at the same time, it has batteries, I said that, and it has this excuse me, the option to charge it or to use it from the USB-C cable itself, so as to prolong the battery life. Like if you want to keep the battery and not use the battery and use the USB-C only, it allows you to do that. Another thing here is it has volume buttons, plus and minus, and it has a button here that allows you to play and pause the music, and it has a power button, and it doesn't even stop here. It has a microphone if you want to have some conversations, some calls. It has like 3.5 and 4.4. It has a nice screen. It has an ESS DAC chip, and it's fully balanced, and it has an app even which allows you to control some features, like for example, to use the mic of your phone, or for example to use some EQ features that are in the device, to control the volume of the microphone of the product itself, and so on. And again, it doesn't come cheap. It has its price, but again, I feel it is worth it if you want the Bluetooth features. It has LDAC and adaptive and low latency, aptX and everything. And if you want, it's obviously bigger than something just like a dongle like AFUL, and it's much bigger. So the portability aspect here is not there. But if you ask and you want me to say a device that performs every function, and it performs them well, and it has a battery so it will not use your phone's battery, it has a microphone, it can use microphones from your earphones, it has balanced and single-ended volume rockers, it has controls, it can even fire up your assistant, Siri or Google Assistant or whatever. I think this device can't be beat. It has fast charging, it has wireless charging, again for the price, it has good power, and it could be used as a dongle or used wirelessly, which comes very handy. And this one I use also a lot. So something I forgot to mention about the THX which differentiates it is it can use a microphone if your earbuds or earphones have microphones. So these are my choices, and I will finish it by saying Tanchjim Space Lite for the portable use, Fosi DS2 for the best value. That is my choice. The Muse here, if you want to try something different, something that's smooth, not harsh, and very good sounding, and honestly maybe the best build quality, it will go to the Muse. AFUL SnowyNight for the best sound, the best daily use, the best efficiency, the best product almost overall from a wired only perspective, and the best price when you compare it at this level. It's honestly a great device, and the best Cirrus Logic device I have ever tested or heard will be the AFUL SnowyNight. The THX Onyx will be the best detailed and the most analytical, the most detailed retrieval will be the THX Onyx. And again, the BTR7 will be the most as a one all be all kind of device that performs everything and performs it well, of course at a higher cost. This has been the review for these dongles. Obviously there is like bigger portable amplifiers which we can talk about later, but I think this is enough for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. Until then, see you on the next one. Bye.